When many look at bodyweight athletes and the feats that they can achieve with their bodies, it's often the core that gets the lion's share of attention. And actually, between the lean physique of the typical calisthenics athlete and because of the way in which good form dictates that we hold our bodies, it isn't hard to see why. That being said, when it comes to advanced calisthenics skills and exercises, it is the strength of the shoulders and the force that they either have to produce or negate force that should be doing all of the wowing, not the midsection. So then it should be of paramount importance that we keep our shoulders healthy and happy. That's what we're going to be talking about today. Let's get into it. How you doing, Cali Crowd? Welcome back to the channel that makes calisthenics simple. Diving right into it, the shoulders are actually really interesting because they're actually two joints in one. The first, probably the more well-known glenohumeral joint, where the humerus or upper arm ends in this ball and socket, and the acromioclavicular, where the tip of the shoulder blade attaches. Together, they give the shoulder an array of capabilities when it comes to moving while still providing stability throughout the arms. So when it comes to calisthenics proofing our shoulders, one of the best things we can do is ensure that they move well and have access to the range that they need to do their job. Calisthenics calls for a relatively high degree in shoulder flexion, essentially getting our hands over our head. Now, this is relatively easy to understand in a skill like the handstand, where shoulder flexion has very real and direct influences on our ability to perform this movement. But it is also something that we see in pull-ups. If we don't have the mobility to get our hands straight up overhead and then we go to grab a pull-up bar, this extra range is likely to come from the lower back, not really something that we want to encourage unintentionally. Inability to access range also has a second disadvantage in that strength is gained through the range trained. And so if we can't utilize that range of motion where we're looking to boost our abilities, they will never develop. So the question then becomes, how do we increase our shoulder mobility, particularly in shoulder flexion that bodyweight training demands? Well, a favorite of mine is the butcher's block, a favorite on this channel, one that we've spoken about many times before. And for me, this was the thing that really unlocked my shoulder range of motion. By kneeling and resting our elbows on a flat surface, we can allow our shoulders to sink into deeper flexion than we otherwise could without allowing the back to cave in. Holding a stick ensures that we keep our hands parallel and straight. We want all that range to be coming from the shoulder and not the elbows. We can also layer on some strength gains in this new range too by contracting here and visualizing lifting the elbows up off the platform. This is a stretch that does a lot to keep the shoulders mobile, but in order to truly calisthenics proof them, we need to make the shoulders strong. Again, overhead work is where we should start for this, and look no further than the pike push-up exercise. Building up capacity with pike push-ups will have massive transferability to the strength needed in a huge amount of calisthenics skills, as well as developing the traps, which are responsible for stabilizing the scapula, and the fact that they get a decent workout with pike push-ups as well doesn't hurt either. If you struggle with pike push-ups, some good regressions include the pike shrug, basically a pike push-up with a smaller range of motion, and the Z press, the barbell version of a pike push-up. Overall, high capacity means that we do decrease our likelihood of injury, but we also need to ensure that we're getting enough rest. Most bodyweight exercises use the shoulders to some degree, and so it makes it hard to understand when we need to rest them, but we need to do it in order to get stronger. We also need a concentrated effort on external rotation of the shoulder. Most high-profile bodyweight exercises such as pull-ups, dips, push-ups encourage an increase in the resting tone of the internal shoulder rotators, such as the chest and anterior delts. Unchecked and compounded with day-to-day life, such as working at a desk or hunched over a phone, we can end up with habitually poor posture in the shoulder. This is the complete opposite of the strong, stable base that we're looking to build with our calisthenics training. The first thing we can do is work on horizontal pulling, so exercises like the bodyweight roll, for example. This places an emphasis on scapular retraction in a way that many movements don't, and fires up the rhomboids to drive better posture. But coupled to this, we also want to be really deliberate with the exercises we use to target external rotation. We can do this through an exercise like the bodyweight face pull, where we aim to pull the shoulders down and together at the apex of each rep. What I love about the face pull is that it allows us to work on external rotation as a compound movement. But with external rotation, particularly those new to it, I'd recommend that you work on external rotation as a unilateral movement. And for this, the prone shoulder rotation does a really good job here. By lying on the floor with our elbows perpendicular to our body and our hands perpendicular to our elbows, we can lift our hands off the floor, allowing the shoulder to externally rotate. Now, this will feel really difficult to begin with, and no weight or an extremely light weight will be more than enough to do the job. But if you want to progress this, we can grab a weight that we know we can't move and try and pick it up. Isometrics are not only great for building strength, but also for building familiarity with new movements, and visualizing driving the fist up here will fire up all of those dormant external rotators. Now, what we've gone through today is a lot to get our head around, so this is how I would structure it in a typical bodyweight workout session. Say, for example, I was approaching an upper body day. My warm-up could include some external rotation work, mobilizing the muscles that I know may not get a look in during the bulk of the session. Then I'd move on to the main body of my workout, any skill work such as front lever holds, the usual basic exercises, including some form of horizontal pulling and overhead pressing, as I mentioned earlier. And then we can wrap up all this strengthening with some stretching. Crowd, keeping the shoulders healthy and strong is going to be the cornerstone of our calisthenics development. And this is how we can avoid any unnecessary issues or risks when it comes to the shoulders. But if you're looking to understand how to calisthenics-proof your elbows, another pain point when it comes to bodyweight training, then check out this video right here.